RPR 180 Literary Practice Test. Ready? Here we go. When we think high-profile trials, there are some that come to mind right away. Recently, a few have been named trials of the century, while others have felt like they've lasted about that long. Whether high-profile trials take more of a center stage or just more time, court reporters deal with the many additional challenges and opportunities a high-profile trial can bring. If you live in or anywhere near Cleveland, Ohio, you've heard about or followed the Sowell case. Back in October 2009, Anthony Sowell was arrested as a suspect in the murders of 11 women. He went on trial and was convicted in July 2011 on 82 counts, with jurors recommending the death penalty. Sowell's execution by lethal injection is scheduled for October 29, 2012, although it may be delayed by appeals. With the great coordination efforts of Bruce Bish, RDR CSR, Chief Court Reporter for Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court, court reporters were given an opportunity to work on a complex trial without getting burned out. Bish explains that court reporters are not assigned to a particular judge, but are pool reporters. When a judge needs a court reporter, the bailiff calls the office, and the first person on the list is assigned. For the Sowell trial, which was long and involved coordination, worked a little differently. Reporters were asked to put their names in a hat if they were interested in working on it. Bish was the liaison between the court reporters and the court, and he coordinated the real time to the judge. Bish adds, given the magnitude of this case, I decided it would be faster for all to work in 2-week shifts. That way, many different reporters would have a chance to work on the trial, and more importantly, we would not delay the appellate process. It would also keep the reporters fresh. Each reporter, if chosen, had to agree that there would be no extensions taken to file the transcript. During the pretrial portion, there were 30 separate hearings reported by 23 different reporters. During the trial portion, one reporter would write the proceedings and another reporter would edit. Even though the process of switching reporters ran well, Bish admits that it was a stressful trial. This was an extremely high-pressured situation, given that it was a daily real-time case, a highly publicized case, and also a death penalty case. The morning session transcripts were delivered before the afternoon session began. The afternoon session was completed usually within an hour or so after the session ended. The coordination of the case was stressful for me because it would all come back to me if something went wrong. I wanted to make sure everything ran smoothly for the judge, says Bish. Knowing that the trial would last so long as it did helped Bish with the coordinating efforts. It was best to divide the case into segments amongst different reporters, Bish said. If one reporter had to produce all 11,706 pages, it would have taken much more time to produce than it did. Marlene Ebner, RMR, an official reporter at Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court, who has been a reporter for 30 years, was one of the reporters who put her name in the hat. Ebner agrees with Bish that it was a high-pressure assignment because of the magnitude of the charges and the number of victims, both living and dead. The trial was stressful because of the type of case it was and the fact that the judge wanted real-time feed for the whole trial, plus the media was there always, she says. Ebner comments that the Sowell trial had the most media coverage of any case she'd worked on previously. For her, it was a little disconcerting at the beginning, but as she settled in, her concern eased. When asked what the hardest moments were, Ebner mentions 2 totally different situations. The first was when their computer software stopped feeding to the judge's computer. The other was when the victims who survived and escaped testified. At times it was difficult to stay composed when the surviving victims testified about their ordeals. There were times my eyes teared up. I just tried to refocus on something else and become detached, she says. Although it was an interesting trial to work on, Ebner is glad it's over. It's the type of case that I will never forget. I'm glad I did it, though, she says. Her advice to others who have the opportunity to work on a high-pressure, high-profile trial: be as prepared as possible, keep as calm as possible, and know that you're trained for times like these, Ebner says. Volunteer for assignments that take you out of your comfort zone, and stay on top of technology. Greg Cotter, RPR, a court reporter for 20 years, took various hearings prior to the trial and did the last week of trial and sentencing. He gets to the point where he calls the experience unique and creepy. Throughout the trial, Cotter worked closely with Another reporter, Tracy Vargo, RMR, she wrote on the steno machine, which was wirelessly transmitted to my computer, where I transmitted the steno and did the editing. Then I wirelessly sent the text back to Tracy's laptop. All right, we do have a short word list. Sowell, capital Sowell. Bish, capital BISH. Cayuga, CUYAHOGA. Ebner, EBNER. Cotter, capital KOTER. Vargo, capital VARGO. And that will conclude our RPR 180 literary practice test.